A man who has a mother wound will not be able to emotionally provide for his woman. A man who has a mother wound will not be able to emotionally provide for his woman. Let me go ahead and play this clip.
Has a mother wound will not be able to emotionally provide for his woman because subconsciously he is expecting her to mother him. The little boy in him who didn't receive the warm nurturing from his mother or protection from an oppressive father has deeply unmet needs and anger and is really looking for that to be soothed by his woman and his family. That's why he wants things his way, but can't understand your point of view. Add on top the father wound, which is born from the patriarchy that says men should be dominant and shut down their emotions. He now thinks his only job is to bring in money and has lost touch with the emotions within him. So when his woman or family claim that their emotional needs are unmet, he perceives that as a threat and gets defensive or claims I've done so much for you physically, or unleashes the anger of his suppressed inner child. He often plays the victim because that's how the little boy inside him feels, and until he heals that, he will not be able to provide emotional nurturing to those around him. He will remain defensive.
I agree with every single word that dude said. Send me that, JR. That was dope.
A man who has a mother wound will not be able to emotionally provide for his woman. Let me go to Precious first. What are your thoughts?
I do agree. Um, unless that man, really is honest and real with himself and really evaluates his relationships, because mother wounds are very evident, just like father wounds are evident in women. And emotionally, women always say men are not emotionally available. Some men are not emotionally available. Well, that's one reason why a man wouldn't be emotionally available, because your mom is really your first love. That's the person that you think is going to save you, is going to be your hero, along with your dad. But a mom and son relationship is precious. It is, and when you don't have that, when a son or a young boy doesn't have that, his outlook on woman is skewed. His sexual relationships are skewed because now you don't know the healthy touch from a woman. You only know a sexual touch from a woman. You don't necessarily know how to communicate. Um, you take a lot of things to heart because you haven't had these heart to heart talks with your mother. And I had a show on Monday talking about Kanye and his mother. A lot of people get on Kanye, but he had a mother who loved him. He had an educated mother who taught him emotional intelligence. A lot of people think that Kanye is crazy, but honestly, I think he's actually highly educated because he had that in his mother. And we all saw what happened when his mom died. People thought he was crazier, but I think it really did have an effect on him, because if your mama not by your side, who gonna be by your side? Who are you gonna go to? The streets? The next person usually is grandma. A lot of men, you hear them say if they mom didn't raise them, their grandmother raised them. And can't nobody love me like grandma. Can't nobody pour into me like grandma. And so when you get into relationships, you're looking for a woman to do it. And it can be clear to that woman that exactly what you need. And you need her to be a safe space, but then she needs a safe space from you. So it's important that young men establish good relationships with their mom. And it's a tragedy when mothers do away with their sons, when mothers talk to their sons crazy, when mothers don't embrace their sons.
Mm,
It's a tragedy.
mm.
All right. Let me go ahead and get Penny in there.
I do agree with everything Precious said about men having mother wounds, and I do think the hardest part about it is men realizing that that is an issue within themselves. A lot of men are not able to understand that, and so I think that's what can hurt a relationship, is when men don't understand that that is what's going on with them, instead of just relying on that being a characteristic of that man. And I think that's just most problematic. I think that's what the problem is with that. But I agree with everything Precious said.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and go to Lashia. What are your thoughts, ma'am?
So again, I agree with what Precious said, and the video was so true. And nothing grinds my gears more than seeing a woman just talk greasy to her kids. I've seen this so many times, and the mom in me wants to say something to her, but people don't take kindly to that. And I've got to realize that my life is more important to get back to my son than to raise my voice about her being disrespectful to her child. But it's seen so many times. And I mean, I've seen it on the bus, I've seen it on the train, I've seen it in the streets. And then this boy grows up not having any confidence, not knowing how to even speak to women, because he feels like he's going to get yelled at. He's going to be told he's worthless. So he just shies away from everything. I've seen that on so many, it goes so many ways. You either get a boy that's a womanizer. He doesn't know how to commit because the mom is just laying into him over and over and over again. And it's like, you can't beat your child in the head over and over with stuff like that. And then next thing you know, or just not there, just not present. I have a situation right now where is a woman that's just not present in her child's life and her son's life. And this is not a friend of mine. This is not somebody, but it's somebody I know. I'm just going to leave it at that. But this person is just not in her son's life. And I see the effects that it has on her son. He's emotional. He's all over the place. He disrespects other female figures because he didn't have that woman to look toward, that the woman that he wanted to love and wanted to care for and wanted to respect. She's just not in the picture. So it's a lot that comes with that. And a mother's wound it runs really deep, and it can go for generations and generations. And it is like, no matter how much therapy you get, it's just not going to replace the warm hug of a mother or the care, the nurturing of a mother. It's just not. It's really going to affect them in the long run. So yeah, I agree with the video in totality, and that's why I'm there for my son every step of the way.